This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Family secrets in the 1950s weren't just hidden. They were encoded right into people's names. And I've got a story that proves how a single name could shape 3 generations of lives.
You know what's fascinating about that era? The way people maintained appearances was practically an art form. The story of Ruth Stoughton really shows how intricate that dance was.
Let me paint this picture for you. It's 1911, and Ruth Stoughton gives birth to a boy who they deliberately name Foster. Not just any name, but literally marking him as a foster child through his own name.
That's absolutely devastating when you think about it. The psychological impact of carrying a name that basically announces your outsider status to everyone you meet.
And here's what makes this even more complex. Ruth couldn't even be mother to her own child. She had to become Auntie Ruth instead, keeping this careful distance that society demanded.
The way they managed these relationships through such specific titles, it's like they had this whole coded language, doesn't it? I mean, Auntie Ruth tells you everything about the power dynamics at play.
Speaking of power dynamics, let's talk about Dr. James Lyon, the biological father. Here's a respected heart surgeon who's completely absent from Foster's early life, only to suddenly become relevant again through this fascinating will situation in the 1950s.
Tell me more about that will situation. What exactly happened there?
Well, in 1949, Irene Moore Lyon makes this dramatic change to her will. Completely removes her husband of 27 years, Dr. Lyon, and puts the Washington Loan and Trust Company in his place. No explanation, no warning. Just this massive statement through legal documentation.
You know what's really striking about this whole story? The way these family secrets had to be managed without any of the modern outlets we have today. No social media, no public forums, nothing.
Exactly. And the census records from that time tell their own fascinating story. William Stoughton, Ruth's father, only listed his male children in the 1910 census. That's not an accident. That's strategic documentation.
The way they used official documents to both hide and reveal information is remarkable. It's like reading between the lines of history.
And then there's this incredible moment in 1951 when Ruth finally reaches out to Foster through letters. She sends him this photograph of himself as a little boy in a cowboy outfit. There's so much meaning packed into that single gesture.
That cowboy outfit detail really hits hard. It's like they were trying to give him this symbol of independence and strength, even while the social structures of the time were constraining him.
And you know what's fascinating? This pattern of naming and identity continues right down to me personally, as I basically changed my name from Foster to Jimmy because of the weight that first name carried.
So these decisions from the 1950s were still rippling through generations decades later?
Absolutely. And what's really interesting is how the death of Mary Stoughton, Ruth's mom and Foster's grandmother and caretaker, in 1918 becomes this crucial turning point. Mary was apparently the stabilizing force in the family, and once she fell ill, everything changed for young Foster.
It's remarkable how one person's presence, or absence, could completely shift the dynamics of these carefully balanced family situations.
And let's talk about the timing of all this. In 1948, Dr. Lyon was documenting all the details of his life, and then Irene Moore Lyon changes her will in 1949, and she passes away in 1950. The timing to me isn't coincidental.
The way all these pieces fit together, the will changes, Ruth's letters, the family dynamics, it's like watching a complex puzzle slowly reveal itself.
And what's particularly fascinating is how Ruth used the very systems that constrained her, marriage, family structures, social conventions, to eventually find a way to maintain some connection with her son, even if it had to be as Auntie Ruth.
That really speaks to the incredible resilience of these women, doesn't it? Finding ways to work within these rigid systems while still maintaining some sense of connection and truth.
And when you look at the broader historical context, this was all happening during massive social changes. The post-war era was bringing new questions about family, identity, and social status to the forefront.
Yet some things haven't changed as much as we might think. Families still struggle with questions of identity and belonging, just in different ways.
That's true. And while we might have more open conversations about family dynamics now, people still grapple with how to handle difficult truths and protect reputations.
Looking at this story really shows how documentation becomes crucial to understanding these complex family histories. The letters, photographs, census records, and legal documents all tell parts of the story.
And sometimes what's not documented tells us just as much as what is. The strategic omissions, the careful wording, it's all part of the larger narrative.
Makes you wonder how many similar stories from that era are lost to time because they weren't documented, or because the evidence was deliberately destroyed.
And that's really the heart of this story. How these careful balances between truth and propriety, between family obligations and personal identity, continue to shape us even today.